So I still remember when Timothy Bradley says that Pacquiao doesn't belong in the ring and should retire. And now he's saying that Pacquiao is going to defeat Tank Davis if they fight. I'm confused, Tim. What are you really trying to say here? I'm confused. I won't be surprised sooner rather than later you say something that you want to come back and fight Manny Pacquiao. Anyway, I will talk to you about what he said and what I truly feel if Pacquiao fight Tank Davis. Will he win? Anyway, on this episode, let's be real. Let's also, try to understand what Tim Bradley is trying to say here.
Here comes the boom, boom, pow, Powcast Nation, stand up now. Get ready for the truth, Powcast, the pioneer, the original now. Sports updates join Powcast Nation. Powcast Sports number one. Powcast Sports, the number one independent sports voice in the Philippines.
Powcast Sports. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.
First of all, we respect Timothy Bradley as a boxer. And as a commentator, of course, we liking him as a commentator. It's just, on this episode and on his opinion about Manny Pacquiao, we kind of disagree. And, this is my reaction and my opinion in reference to that. Anyway, if you're new here, my name is Pow Salud, representing the Philippines boxing scene. If it's your first time, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss a thing for Filipino boxing. I usually do a lot of contents and conversation about Philippine boxing. So you're in luck if you're watching right now because I'm going to do this in English. And I'm sure a lot of Filipino fans who doesn't understand too much of English would say, "Sir, sana Tagalog na lang so we can comment." And, in short, they would maybe asking me to speak in Tagalog. But we'll do that next time, okay? And for now, let's speak in English so that Timothy Bradley would understand what we're trying to say. Maybe he would respond back to me. I'm going to send him an email soon. Maybe we could discuss and kind of collaborate. Maybe it could also help his channel. Anyway, let's first talk about the facts and the real potential scenarios for Manny Pacquiao. I know that you guys has been, you've been wondering what's next for Manny Pacquiao, especially Filipino fans. Manny Pacquiao is rumored to be fighting either Rolly Romero or Tank Davis. And I would not also count out the potential of Manny Pacquiao fighting Mario Barrios again. Now, going back to the point of Timothy Bradley, I don't know if you remember, Timothy Bradley said something like Pacquiao does not belong in the ring after getting a draw with Mario Barrios. He mentioned something that Pacquiao doesn't have defense. Pacquiao isn't that good. He doesn't look good. The snap isn't there. And, I would have agreed with him because Pacquiao is really not the same anymore. But then he said something like, Pacquiao is gonna win against Tank Davis. Like, I just saw that on the Ring magazine article. So kind of confused what Timothy Bradley is saying here. It's contradicting the first statement that he made in that video that he made maybe a week ago, a couple of weeks ago. That could not escape my mind. He mentioned that Pacquiao doesn't have the defense. And now he's saying that Pacquiao is going to win against Tank Davis. So that's confusing, Tim. First, everyone should already know this, especially Timothy Bradley, that of course and obviously it will not be the same because Pacquiao is already 46 years old. So it's implied that he is no longer in his prime. Hence, he would not be the same. And, he would not perform the same way as he performed when he was younger. But to say that he doesn't belong in the ring, it sounded like maybe he wasn't really watching the fight because majority of his peers believe, and even the boxing expert believe, that Manny Pacquiao won that fight. So maybe Bradley's just doing this. He would be alone in that position. It's an unpopular opinion, but at least people in the Philippines are gonna talk about him, and I understand that. No, but to say this new statement right now, it's kind of confusing, and it's kind of taking a hit with the credibility of Timothy Bradley. Did he change his mind? Because I haven't seen any video that he changed his mind regarding Pacquiao. Maybe he did, right? Because I thought he said that Pacquiao should retire. Now you're picking Pacquiao over Tank Davis for what? For what reason? Well, to be fair, I did read the article, and I think you're picking the Pacquiao because Tank Davis is not mentally prepared or ready because of a lot of issues outside of boxing, and you felt like Tank will not be 100% focused in his fight, which is obviously that will be that will have an effect on the fight. But I think it's a little bit too exaggerated because Tim should know that issues, the distraction will always be there in boxing. Even Pacquiao has that. I mean, big issues, a lot of them. And I'm sure you had that when you were fighting. But if a boxer accepts the fight, I'm sure they're professional enough to train. It might affect them, but still they're professional enough to train. And if you truly think that Pacquiao doesn't have it anymore, even with even fighting a guy distracted like Tank Davis, then obviously Tank would not be 100%. But if a boxer doesn't have it, even if he's fighting a guy that's not 100%, and Tank Davis dangerous, Tank Davis undefeated, Tank Davis is one of the hard hitting guys, then why would you be picking Manny Pacquiao? That means Pacquiao still got it, right? Now, I'm not trying to say that Tank Davis beats Pacquiao. All I'm just trying to say is that I'm trying to understand the comment of the boxing legend, of the boxing Hall of Fame, Timothy Bradley, right? Because it feels like from the start you were saying that Pacquiao should retire. Now Pacquiao is gonna win over Tank, over someone that hasn't been beaten. So I think we should agree that Pacquiao still got it, right? Now, for my opinion, anyway, regarding this fight, if this fight come to fruition, I believe that Pacquiao got a chance. Now, people would say I'm biased because I'm Filipino. Well, yeah, okay, fine. But we've seen him against Barrios, against a taller guy. But the style of Barrios that wasn't really something that I expected. Some say it would have worked the other way for Pacquiao. I mean, the style of Barrios actually is the reason why it was a draw, and they were saying that if Barrios was aggressive, then it would have been a different story. Barrios could have won, but we never know. But for Tank Davis had his this kind of style that's very exciting. He's gonna look to knock out his opponent, and it's possible that he could win against Pacquiao. But this fight, I think one thing that most people is not considering. I mean, obviously people look at his age, but Pacquiao hasn't fought anyone as small as Tank Davis. Pacquiao in his recent career has always been fighting bigger guys, a lot bigger guys than him. And consider this, Pacquiao and Bradley and everyone else is for sure knows about this. Pacquiao is not a big welterweight. In fact, he should not be a welterweight. It's just so happened that welterweight has good money. Welterweight, there's a lot of good fighters in the welterweight, so it's an exciting division, and he has been really comfortable fighting in the welterweight. But imagine he's fighting a 135 pounder. Yes, I know he fought Barrios and he defeated Barrios. Tank Davis defeated Barrios, but this is a different story. Try fighting Barrios at 147 and Tank Davis. It would be different because who knows what's gonna happen to Tank Davis if he moves up to 140 plus. And I'm sure I know the fight's not gonna happen at 147 because it's kind of unfair with with Tank, but I'm sure they work out something in between 147 140 because I don't know. I mean, Pacquiao, I don't think he's gonna be able to also make 140 pounds, or maybe they'll fight 140 pounds. But if it's me, I would try and force Tank Davis to fight 142, 143 pounds. Tank is having issues anyway with weight, but fighting at that weight and then bloating up to plus 10 pounds to 15 pounds, I don't know if he still would have that speed that he has at 135. So that could make a difference. Again, Tank will still be the favorite, but I think we all know, and that's why Bradley is saying this, that whether Tank is 100% or not, or focused or not, mentally ready or not, he's still going to be the favorite, but Pacquiao will always have a chance. Right? Do you guys agree?